Today we're talking about a whiskey that you may or may not have heard of. It's Very Old Barton. If you live in Kentucky, odds are you enjoy this, and it's readily available. Outside of Kentucky, you may or may not see it, may or may not have had it. If you do see it, should you get it? Should you drink it? Should you try it? The price is right, but is the taste right? So stick around. We're going to talk about Very Old Barton. So a couple of years ago, my wife and I traveled down to Kentucky for the first time. We're living here in Ohio for about a year and wanted to explore new areas. We had moved here from the West Coast. And on our way into Kentucky, I realized, I don't know why it hit me then, the light bulb went off, that's bourbon country. I started seeing signs for the Bourbon Trail. While we did not visit any distilleries on that trip, we did hit a few liquor stores. And I saw Very Old Barton for the very first time. The price was right, and I try to make it a point to pick up a brand or two that I've never seen before and try it out. So the red label 80 proof is like $10 a bottle. The 86 proof is about $11 a bottle. I think they make a 90 proof, but I've never seen it. So the 100 proof is around the $15 mark. So I figured, let me try it. I actually only picked up on that trip about 2 bottles of the 86 proof, and I fell in love. It's a budget brand, but it doesn't taste like a budget brand. To me, I would easily pay about $30 for the 86 proof. It's that good, and I will have a little taste of it in this video, don't worry. Now I splurged a little bit and I found some money in the budget, and I hired on an expert who knows his bourbon. I checked his references, he sent me a great resume. Here he is, Colonel Crawford himself. He's a real Kentucky colonel. And like I said, I checked his references and they're impeccable. He's going to tell us all about Very Old Barton. So, take it away, Colonel Crawford.
Why, thank you, sonny boy. Yes, Very Old Barton is a fine Kentucky brand, steeped in the grand tradition of this here fine state. It was the great Kentucky Colonel Tom Moore himself who started this fine amber elixir back in 1792. Hold on there.
It was really Chicago businessmen Oscar Getz and Lester Abelson who founded the Barton Distillery shortly after Prohibition ended in 1933.
Well, you got me there, son. But I have to say that those two men were fine master distillers of high-quality, high-end Kentucky bourbon, steeped in the grand tradition of our beloved Commonwealth.
Sorry, Colonel. Both men had been whiskey brokers before Prohibition, and they founded the Barton Distillery to become whiskey brokers again. I don't know where you're getting your information from, but now Barton went along for a few years, and they were buying and selling. They were brokering the whiskey like they used to.
But Sonny, I could have sworn it was Colonel Tom Moore in the year of our Lord 1792.
Well, Barton does make the 1792 bourbon. It's a small batch bourbon. I have it right here, you know, and that's what you're thinking of, Colonel. I'm sorry.
Ah, yes. A finer bourbon can never be found. Here, son, give me a taste of that one.
Well, no, Colonel, today it's not about the 1792, it's about very old Barton bourbon.
Ah, yes. Very old Barton. The only bourbon produced by this fine, small micro distillery, as you call it down these days here, son.
Um, I'm sorry to do this again to you, Colonel. Gotta tell you, Barton is owned by Sazerac, and they own brands like Buffalo Trace, Benchmark, Weller, Blanton's, Southern Comfort, and well, there's over 450 different brands of spirits that Sazerac owns. Not just bourbon, but vodka, gin, tequila. If I had to go through all the different brand names that they market and produce, it would be a pretty long video, Colonel. If I named them all, they're like the craft foods of spirits.
Well, there's no disputing, though, that this very old Barton is a very fine bourbon.
Now I agree with you, Colonel. And you know what else?
Now, son, will you cut the chatter, will you, and pour me a tumbler of that fine amber elixir?
Sorry, Colonel. I'm going to be the one doing the drinking in this video, as I usually do. So, like I mentioned before, first time I saw Very Old Barton was down in Kentucky. First time we went. I have seen it in Indiana. I hit a liquor store in Fort Wayne, Indiana, and I think I also saw it in South Bend. I went to a liquor store there. But definitely in Fort Wayne. We saw it there. I'm going to start with the 80 proof. The red label 80 proof. And this is not a first try by any means, but I do want to try it and give you my reactions to it as I try it. So here we go, down the hatch. The 80 proof is a fine standard 80 proof bourbon. It's not as harsh, in my opinion, as a Jim Beam White Label. It's light years beyond the early times I tried in that first bottom shelf battle that I did in that video, which I did try a little bit of this against the an impromptu taste against the Benchmark. And interestingly, as I told the Colonel, Very Old Barton and Benchmark are made by Sazerac, which also makes Buffalo Trace and a few other brands. Actually, a lot of other brands. Talk about the craft foods of bourbon. That's Sazerac. But it's really good. If you had to choose between the Benchmark and the Very Old Barton, I might go with the Benchmark. But Very Old Barton, the 80 proof red label, it's really good. Next, I'm gonna try the 100 proof. 100 proof used to be labeled bottled in bond and aged for 6 years. I don't know. There's no designation on this except for the proof, which is 100 proof. So let's see what we got on this. And I do like. I mean, I like both of these so far. And the 100 proof is a lot smoother, obviously. Higher alcohol content, aged longer. Probably still aged maybe that between 4 and 6 years. But man, that 100 proof is really good. And it's not something that tastes overpowering. It does have that little bit of a harsh bite at the end as it goes down your throat, and I'm still feeling a little bit of it on the back of my tongue, but really nice. And to tell you the truth, for I'm going to assume $14 to $15, I didn't pay a whole lot. I'm going based off of what I said earlier, $10, $12, probably about $15. Excellent value for the money. And this 80, I ain't opening it. I'm not opening my 86 proof. You know why? I'm not opening the 750 milliliter. I started working on this 1.75 liter bottle. This is $12. When I say $12, it's $11.99. All right, what's a penny? It's more than $12 with the tax, but $12 for that. This 1.75 liter bottle was $20. $20 gets you this much bourbon, and it's good bourbon too. You know, you look at your bottom shelf bourbons, and you see something this size, it's usually trash. It's usually not good. I mean, this thing is, I'm putting it down on the floor. Anchor the floor with it. But, oh man. That's this. I actually prefer this 86 proof over the 100. It's smooth. It's sicky smooth. Sicky smooth. You know what I'm saying? It is. How much would you pay for a silky smooth bottle of bourbon? How much would you pay? Would it be $15? $30? Maybe even $50? No. In Kentucky and Fort Wayne, Indiana, it's $11.99. Anyway, sorry. This is the stuff. If you can get this 86 proof green label, I'm gonna hold it up to the camera. Look at that. That's a $12 bottle of bourbon. I mean, no. This is a $35 bottle of bourbon for $11.99 plus applicable tax. Kentucky, Fort Wayne, Indiana. I don't know where else. I can't get it in Ohio. So, when we go down to Kentucky, we'll go down to Kentucky every so often. I'll load up on it. If I could have one bourbon on my wall, and I'll show you a wide shot of my collection here. If I could have one bourbon filling up these shelves, it would be the 86 proof very old Barton. Not only is it a great value for the money, it's a great bourbon for the money. I'm not getting anything from Sazerac. I buy this stuff, alright? No kickbacks, no nothing. It is a really, really, really good whiskey. So, you know, my unsolicited advice, let me do this, put the glasses back on. My unsolicited advice, buy this bourbon. If you see it, get it. It's really, really good. And you won't go wrong with it. Take it from me. You will not go wrong with it. So that's it for today. I hope you learned a little something. You know, if you can get very old Barton, if it's available to you, again, I recommend it, especially this 86 proof. sicky smooth, sicky smooth. And I don't think you'll go wrong with it. Next video, I'm planning, hopefully the next video will be something about Rebel Bourbon. Used to be called Rebel Yell. Very interesting history on that bourbon. So be on the lookout for that. If it's not the next video, it's coming up soon. I'm working on it. So until next time, always remember the immortal words of one of my favorite and most beloved actors, screen legend Jimmy Stewart.
I asked my friend Harvey, he's a 6 foot tall, maybe 8 foot tall rabbit, I don't remember, it's been so long ago, what his favorite bourbon was, and he said it was very old Barton, and my pet dog Blue is dead. So take it from me, screen legend and beloved actor Jimmy Stewart. Try the very old Barton.
Come on, guys. Help me, help you, help all of us. I don't want you to waste your money on bad bourbon, bad whiskey. Don't make the wrong choice. Like and subscribe. You'll be notified of future videos. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you soon.